Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
I think a lot of people are burnt out not because they're doing too much. I think a lot of us are burnt out because we're doing too little of the things that really matter.
Essentially, to move on to be the next version of yourself, some aspect or some pattern has to die.
I think the inconsequential moments are the most crucial moments because they actually do have consequences.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Just throw yourself into things head first and give it your all. Failure is part of the course.
All of us are committed to living a service-driven life, to leave the planet in better shape than how we found it. And I think that as much as we've chosen this path with our lives, that we were chosen for this.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
You cannot lead people at something you've never done if you've never done it. It just doesn't work.
Understanding that we live in a place in consciousness where there are no limits.
Because everything that's ever happened to you has actually happened in your favor.
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
Course aim to bring you up. Now, with that said, David, because we are blessed with abundance and have so many friends that are going to be joining us today, I would suggest that we go over our schedule in terms of where we're going to be at the later half of today's Power Hour. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair. Good morning, everyone.
Beautiful. Well, let's get this thing rocking and rolling, David. I would love it if you wouldn't mind by kicking us off by sharing your...
Do we want to go over the schedule or not? You wanted me to go over the schedule or did you? I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I've been going for like 3 weeks in a row. I apologize. So I'm a little bit brain fogged than normal. Did you want me to go over the schedule or were you going to do it?
I was suggesting that we go over the schedule at the very end after we go through all of our takeaways with our incredible guests and partners.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, beautiful. But then I would love it if you would kick us off by sharing what your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6 has been.
It was really interesting because Office Hours Season 6 came right after I filmed 3 TV shows that 2 were templated in 1, meaning that we were in Season 6 of that show, 2-minute drill, but 1 was a brand new pilot on Wednesday. And it elevated my awareness and takeaway that the more you do something, the easier it gets because you identify what puts anything at dis-ease through repetition. And paralleling the paradigm of understanding, I am looking for what am I doing to interfere with my potential, that ease, that stable homeostasis, the natural way that we are, which is at ease, not at dis-ease. For me, the biggest takeaway was how easy it was, because we have done 6 seasons of it, and we have identified all the different bumps and hurdles and shortages and voids and obstacles that have occurred in 6 seasons. And so, it causes a harmonious resonance, season 6 for me, because we've identified so much, and people from the outside don't know, can't see, etc. Probably too many of the subtle differences, but it was just an enormous effort from a few to get this show where it is, and exponentially the success has come from the repetitive, consistent learning of what has put us, the things that have put us at dis-ease. So that paradigm shift's my biggest takeaway. It's that show is at ease by identifying what has always put us at dis-ease, from the pilot to now 6 seasons of Office Hours, and literally almost 1,000 different interviews and spotlights and tips of the days and takeaways of the days and the Unstoppable Award winners, all the cool things that are on the show as we went from Bloomberg TV to Amazon Prime to Apple TV, where it streams today. Of course, always at the airports and hotel rooms as you're at your gate. So let's be at ease, and let's bring up the people who really matter, the people that helped us with the show, and see exactly what their takeaway was from the experience, what business development or what desire, inspiration they obtained from Office Hours season 6.
Absolutely. And we have our first guest of the day, who has been an incredible, and I mean this in a positive way, a repeat offender. I know he's been involved with multiple of our seasons, whether it's as a guest, a spotlight, a co-host, and everything in between. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Rob Gill, the founder and CEO of Epic Financial Strategies. Rob, welcome. It is great to see you. Happy Friday. Feel free to go ahead and share your takeaway from Office Hours season 6.
Yeah, listen, happy Fun Friday, everybody. David, how are you, big brother? My biggest takeaway is how to get your message out through proximity and be able to help others, even if it's one person at a time. But a lot of people like to hear about stories of overcoming obstacles to get to a place where success is on the other side of it. If you take it one step at a time, one day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time. And I think that Office Hours is a tremendous platform for the ecosystem merger mindset, and be able to collaborate and share tremendous ideas and really be able to learn from other people on how to accelerate your money, time, freedom.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, David, how are you?
I'm good, man. Great to see you. And there's so many different stories of inspiration. And it's interesting. The reason we have so many different stories is that not every story resonates with everyone. And I think that having a collage of people that look different, sound different, come from different places is a great value, which we intentionally have. Like Nick said, all of the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. I was just curious, in that eclectic group of people that have those inspirational, aspirational stories that resonate, what do you see as the common denominator? You've been involved in a lot of shows, a lot of VIP dinners, a lot of things that we do. What was a common denominator that you saw with all the people that were involved?
That's a great question, Dave. I think, and there's probably 7, 8, 9 answers, right? But the thing that stood out the most as you asked me that question was embracing uncertainty at the highest, most challenging level in time. And the folks that can embrace that, when you want to, I'll talk about myself, when you actually want to control every part of it, the ones that I've seen accelerate the most are the ones that truly, we could call it God, we could call it quantum leaping, we can call it higher frequency, the quantum field. The ones that I've noticed, people that I aspire to be like, are the ones that have embraced uncertainty at the highest level. That's what I think resonates the most right now.
That's beautiful. It's the wisdom and faith that shorten the distance of resistance that we create. And when uncertainty becomes more apparent and we are aware of what always exists, we can go ahead and live at ease and identify the dis-ease. Rob Gill, you're empowering millions of people. I appreciate you, and I'm so proud of you with the growth of your podcast, your brand, and your business. There is nobody better out there to trust when it comes to educating us in financial literacy, especially. My friend Rob Gill, thanks for joining and giving us your takeaway of the day.
Thank you, David. Have a great day. Appreciate it.
I'll talk to you soon, brother. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, Nick of Wammer, who's up next?
Absolutely. It is my pleasure to introduce our next friend who, if you have, I know the Breakfast with Champions community here on Clubhouse is more than familiar with him. He, of course, is a transformational facilitator. He's a business mentor, mentoring entrepreneurs all across the world. He also co-founded Legacy and Leverage, his company with his wife, Leah Notarianni. This is, of course, the one and only Bucky O'Neill. Bucky, happy Friday, my friend. It's great to see you. Feel free to share your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. What's up? I think the biggest thing for me is, the insights, specifically the patterns of insights that come from that level of intimacy. I think one of the things that's so unique about Season 6, at least my experience of it, is you hear all these names and you hear all these people and you hear these stories of both inspiration and success, but you don't really get to see the patterns of what that success looks like or what that inspiration took, or what those outcomes took without that level of intimacy. And I think Office Hours really produces this really incredible intimacy that we get to spend time with the guests, getting to know their story, getting to know their challenges, their upsets, the things that make them who they are. And I think it's one of the things that's really unique about the show.
I think what's unique about the show is you and people like you that we're able to bring a neighborhood of people that have not only differing perspectives, but a higher frequency. Although not everybody lives in agreement, but they live in appreciation of and learning from. And I love the fact that while the show is going on, everyone on the show learns so much from you, and the audience will learn so much from you. But I love the feedback that I get from the green room, where part of it is experiential, but there is business development. But it's interesting for me when we're looking at the clues and the patterns. There's certain people, as we have hundreds of people coming through the studio at the Win, there's certain people that want certain people's email address or phone number, or just mention how impactful they are. And one of the patterns outside of the actual show and the intimacy with the audience and everyone participating being filmed is also the other side of it. The crews and the posses that form in the green room, and who has an impact on them or who's resonating with the neighborhood. And Bucky, that's why I love having you around, because you have such a great impact on the neighborhood. And talk about consistency. There's no one that's more consistent at showing up and benefiting from that. I know you and I were blessed to be together again yesterday. And one of the things that we were talking about our own clients is they want great outcomes, but they're not willing. They're extra milers. They go the extra mile every once in a while.
Sure.
But, then they use that to justify why they're not where they want to be, because they're not showing up or doing the work to get there. And you're definitely, amazing outcomes in your life because of the consistency and the elevation of that awareness that you have, and just the beautiful heart, soul, and mind that you share with others. So Bucky O'Neill, I'm sure I'll see you right when you get back from Hawaii, but thank you so much, my brother. Great seeing you yesterday.
Yeah, appreciate you, Dave.
I love you, man. Thank you.
Hey, I love you too.
Right on. All right, Nick, that well-oiled machine has been out with a back injury. I told him not to play rugby. He just got cut from the USA rugby team, so he's going to miss out on his gold medal. He couldn't fly over to Paris, or was it wakeboarding? I forget. Or breakdancing. Well, anyway, the Nick of Wam is a well-oiled machine. Even when he's broken, he's better than most, if not everyone I know. Nick of Wam, who's up next?
Yes, we have a very, very, very special friend here today that I know, not that everybody isn't, but very near and dear to David's heart. This gentleman is a true definition of what is a heart-led leader. He is, of course, the CEO of JA Junior Achievement Worldwide. He has a new book that is going to be coming out called Modern Achievement, which is coming out on August 13th. And of course, is available for pre-order, not only online, but on Amazon and just about anywhere that you can find it. This is, of course, the one and only Ashish Advani. Ashish, it is great to see you. Happy Friday. Welcome, and feel free to share your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Great to see you, David and Nick. That introduction, I want to take you everywhere. That was like so generous.
Oh, it is true. It's very, very true. It's actually, I was sitting there going, how do you introduce this guy, especially with Junior Achievement in the second year being nominated for a Nobel Prize? He left that out. And so I know your humility is always something that I admire. But sometimes, especially for Junior Achievement, we need to shout from the top of the mountaintops of the impact that we have. And by the way, I know this is about Office Hours Season 6, Ashish. We just filmed 2-Minute Drill Season 6 this week. And once again, the gold medal for the best contestants came from the Junior Achievement Worldwide. I was crying. It may be the best episode of all 6 seasons. The whole crew was crying. I was crying. That's how inspirational the episode will be, and the kids are and the amazing. I went to bed at night. My wife's like, why do you look so calm? I said, because my future, I was a little bit worried about my future, but our bench is so deep. I have no concerns anymore that these young entrepreneurs are going to save the world.
I love it. I got to tell you, I've learned so much from you, Dave, because when we come on Office Hours and you ask me, like, what do I learn from the experience? Frankly, it's by watching and learning from how you interact with other people. Like, you project this generosity. And I really, really do believe this. JA attracts people who want to give back. And when I see them all in the same room, being really generous and focusing on the next generation and leaning into the hope that comes from just seeing young people who are future entrepreneurs and want to own their economic success and just make things happen, it's that culture that I think makes our organization special. When I came and participated in your show, I saw the same culture in the way you interact with your guests, with each other, and I just love it. It just energizes me. So that's what I got out of it.
I love it. It is an abundant atmosphere. It's a bunch of people like Junior Achievement that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. And we're blessed to have you. And your book as well is one that's going to impact the world. And I look forward to, as we're going to be doing some Junior Achievement dinners to help facilitate raising awareness and money for Junior Achievement. We are so blessed with a new CEO of Junior Achievement America, and now a partner for Ashish Worldwide. The impact that we're already having is enormous and recognized. Again, being nominated for a Nobel Prize is nothing to scoff at. It's one of the greatest, no pun intended, achievements that I've been a teeny tiny weeny part of as Chief Chancellor of Junior Achievement University Worldwide. An honor that I brag about. It's one of my favorite things to brag about, is I'm part of something since I was 10 years old that had an amazing impact on my life, and now I get to help have that same impact on others. Ashish Advani, you are a dear friend. Thank you for giving us your takeaway for Office Hours Season 6.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Say hi to everyone.
I will. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I just went to a wedding last Saturday, which was like a Sports One marketing reunion. Now I get to have a Office Hours Season 6 reunion, Nick. All right, who's up next?
Absolutely. And we have for our next guest, he is a multiple-time world champion, let alone Olympic gold medalist champion. And yes, he is in Paris celebrating for the Olympics as of right now. He's an international renowned keynote speaker as well, and a mentor to many all across the world. That is, of course, the one and only Mr. LaShawn Merritt. LaShawn, it is great to see you, my man. It's been too long. Feel free to share that takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Hey, Nick, I appreciate it. Uncle Dave, I'm excited to be here. How are you?
Oh, I am
Game
so
six.
good. It's so nice to see you. I saw a picture with you and an all ferocious Buddha gear from Paris. We were standing on the podium over there with the legend LaShawn. And then yesterday we opened a new studio at the Palazzo, and Sean Dill, Lacey, everybody was there, and we were all cheering you on as you're helping so many Americans understand how to come home with the gold. And it looks like we're doing just that. But you get to do so many cool things. I was wondering, what was your takeaway from your perspective? It wasn't quite being at the Olympics, but what was your takeaway from Office Hours season 6?
It's always an amazing time in Vegas, office hours around that community. It's always love and gratitude in the atmosphere. It's a people who understand time, gratitude, and working with intention. And I just loved it. The green room, just being in that space, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood, and you're a great neighbor in the neighborhood, and it's so nice. A lot of people come up to me, warranted, by the way, and they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know who you were." And I said, "Well, can you tell the other 7.6 billion people that don't know who I am? Could you tell them who I am?" So you're in the majority, and it's amazing to me because I've been a fan of yours for so many years. Have just been amazed by your athletic ability, but also your story. And the more that we spend time together, your story, like my story, will unravel. There's just more remarkable things that I can learn from with a perspective of being the world's best. And I like to learn from the world's best because there's something special about being the world's best. You surround yourself, as I do, with the world's best. I love to get those patterns. So just as a quick extra question, LaShawn, you're at the Olympics right now. What is the common denominator, between Simone Biles and all the amazing athletes that are there? Is there a common denominator that you resonate with?
You know what? I love how some competitors get to that 1% by letting their values guide them, and that's having gratitude, understanding who you are, understanding the frequency, being a great person outside of everything else. You can be this natural competitor, but I'm not naturally competitive. I was one of the ones that let my core values guide me to success, and that day-to-day accountability and working on bringing my best self every day is what made me a champion. And that's what it is. The ones who continue to have fun with it, win, lose, or draw, they understand that. I mean, they pick out the losses. Well, the losses are wins because you understand the lesson in everything, and that's how you continue to excel.
And you certainly continue to excel, not only on the track, helping our country win more medals, but especially off the track, especially with our kids. And you're planting seeds all over the place of success, of gold medals in life. And I cannot wait for you to get back from Paris so we can do more together. Everyone in our neighborhood is cheering you on and missing you here. Keep up the great work, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'll see you in VCon.
I'll see you at VCon. Here we go. Thank you. Awesome. He is the man. All right. Nick of WOM. He's a well-oiled machine. Even when he's broken, he's better than most. What's up, brother? Who's up next?
We are moving and grooving. And next up from Dallas, Texas, we have the CEO of Stella Jets, not only flying her incredible clients all across the world, but based in Dallas. So if you don't know Tia, please make sure to reach out to her directly and get involved. And of course, introducing the one and only Tia Minzoni. So Tia, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to share your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Good morning.
Good morning. I have not seen Tia she is so, I thought I was active. This woman is everywhere and everyone, and we're celebrating her 39th birthday coming up when we're out there in Dallas. And I can't believe you're turning 39. You look wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, 39 anniversary of my 39th at least, that's for sure. And I'll also see y'all at VCon, so I can't wait to see you and LaShawn there. I think for office hours, my biggest takeaway this time for this season was it's great to be in that room with all these people who have done amazing things, everybody from the panel to who you're interviewing. But what's great about the show is that you bring these mentors. We've all heard, like, if you want to get somewhere, find someone who's already gotten there, find someone who's already done it. And you bring so many of these people together on this show, and where people can go back and learn from it and watch over and over again. And I think that's really special, because a lot of times in our life, we don't have the right mentor, and we're looking for someone who's done more than we have. And they're not in our immediate reach, and office hours brings that to everyone. So I just absolutely love that about the show.
And it's interesting you found, because a lot of people walk away from the show and they love the experience. It has a great emotional aftertaste. And some take advantage of the post-production content side of it, which has extreme quantitative value as well, but not everyone can use post-production content. They're not understanding yet how important it is to build a brand for their company and for themselves, and you do that real well. But the one that is, for me, most frustrating is the one that you do the best, is business development. In surrounding ourselves and asking the question, hey, would it help you if, would it help you if? And just a shout out to you, Tia. I know one of the charities that I'm involved with in Hollywood for so many years, Warren Moon and I still get people thanking me for what you had done for them, and bringing in their title sponsor and raising hundreds of thousands of dollars and utilizing your jet in order to facilitate getting the right people there doesn't go unnoticed or unacknowledged. And I think you are in the Hall of Fame of office hours as someone who understands how to get that value out of the abundant neighborhood that we provide with office hours. And talking about mentorship, if anybody wants to learn how to do that, I should send anyone that's involved to office hours to be office hours mentorship. Nick, we should have Tia be the office hours mentor, because she knows how to have a great time. I can hear her and her posse just having a great time inside and outside of the studio. She is the best at business development and post-production content, and I congratulate you, and I can't wait to see you. I think, is VCon before Dallas or after Dallas?
Before Dallas, yeah.
It's next week after Houston. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'll be going to Houston, and then I have the Infinite Growth Conference as well with Tim Story. It's going to be a long weekend this month. Anyways, we look forward to seeing you and then celebrating your birthday after VCon and the Infinite Growth Conference. We will be in Dallas and celebrating you, as so many people will be celebrating you. We look forward to seeing you, and thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You got it. Our mentor of office hours, Tia Manzoni. She's amazing. Thank you so much. All right, Wammer, we're almost at halftime, and I'm still hanging in there. This has been an incredible 3-week run with so many personal things that I wasn't planning. And I think as we packed our schedule in July through yesterday, the grand opening of the poker room, the largest poker room on the Strip at Palazzo and Venetian, and you should see the studio. We have an event room and a new studio, so anything outside of SiriusXM will be over at the Palazzo and Venetian there. It's an amazing, you should see it, Nick. It's ridiculous. We wish you were there. So we just got 2 studios now to deal with. We have the Wynn with SiriusXM, and we have Venetian Resorts in Vegas there. So come and join us in Las Vegas. Nick of WOM, there's so many people lining up. Who's up next?
Absolutely. Excuse me. And our next friend, this was actually his first time joining us, but I know, and again, in a positive way, he will be a repeat offender moving forward. He is the founder and CEO of eMortgage Capital. He has an incredible podcast called The Coffees for Closers. And just like you, David, I know what he takes the most pride in is being a father of 4. That is, of course, the one and only Joseph Shalaby. Joseph, it is great to see you, my man. Happy Friday. Feel free to share your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Thanks, Nick. That's an incredible introduction, and I appreciate hopping on. You know, that experience for me being on Office Hours was really one to remember for the rest of my life. I was surrounded by influential figures that I've ever had the blessing of being a part of. These folks, which several of them I continue to be in touch with, continue to inspire me. Dave, it's amazing to see the type of people that you have the ability to access, and then moreover to really get them to inspire other people who need it. You know, it's very, very rare where you see these type of influential people come together, and they come together to serve, to do God's work. And people have a huge misconception about the type of people that were in that room, right? They don't know the true hearts, and you do a great job showing the hearts, you know, a servant's heart out of these folks. And the miracles that are happening out of these rooms are just, you know, they're gonna change history. And I'm beyond blessed to be, you know, to get to know you, Dave, to get to know your heart, to get to know your mission on this earth, and then to collaborate with like-minded people like those that were on Office Hours is just, you know, I'm truly grateful for that experience.
Well, we're grateful to have you as part of our neighborhood as well. And it's interesting because the people that are most grateful or appreciate the other people are the ones that the other people appreciate the most as well. And those people that are aware of the abundance in the room and the higher frequency of that neighborhood, it's interesting how it's reciprocal in its nature. And I always find, because I have a different perspective of getting to see the entire pattern, the entire whole, and get the feedback from each individual and what they think and how they see what we're trying to do, which is simply to empower others to be happy by finding the thousand people like you, Joseph, that will empower over 1,000 in your life, to be abundant, to create economic gain, to, as I say, make a lot of money, but as Nick had mentioned, to help a lot of people. And, you know, the one thing that is definitely a qualifier is to have a lot of fun. If you're not fun, you're not welcome. And we could work on making money with anybody. I could work on helping people, but I promise you, you know, you're either fun or not. And I can't change that happy gene, that let's just not take ourselves so serious gene, and utilizing all types of self-deprecating humor and other, you know, jokes. And, you know, we keep it very light, even though there's a lot of movement in Office Hours. I think, you know, I could give a class on utilization of time and efficiency when you see my crew and my team, which I'm so grateful for. I don't think people even realize what it's like. We did a pilot, Joseph. You came to the VIP dinner between 2-minute drill, and we had you know, almost 80 some interviews in 2 days in 6 episodes of the 12 that we'll be filming for season 6 of 2-minute drill. I went to a pilot where I was hired as a host of Go Fund Yourself, and they had 4 guests compared to 80 some in 2 days. Four guests, and I think that made me really realize how efficient and effective the crew is. And, you know, everyone's on time, everyone's in and out. And I know you, being a business person with great business acumen, were one of the people to appreciate the team that I have. And you're like, how do you do this? Like, it's,
you have a great team. You have a great team, and you're incredibly efficient. Your timing is like, when we did the podcast together, I remember you knew in your head, like, the clock to the minute. You're like, we're gonna roll for 25 minutes without you know, even thinking about it. Boom, 25 minutes, and then you did like 10 more podcasts after me. So you're probably the most efficient person I've ever met with timing.
I appreciate it, man, and thank you, and welcome to our family. And founder and CEO of eMortgage Capital, my friend Joseph Shalaby, you are part of our family. Thanks for always joining us.
It's a blessing and an honor. Thanks. Keep crushing it.
You too, man. Thank you. All right, Nicker, the Wammer, that's the well-oiled machine. He's leading the way with our team. And we certainly appreciate him, whether he's in Michigan or back at home, which we pray for him, hopefully to be able to make it soon, because we miss him in person, but he's all right virtually. Anyway, Nick of Guam, who's up next?
Absolutely. And we do have and again, in a positive way, a repeat offender. She is a 3-time entrepreneur, a military combat veteran, leadership expert, author, and high performance mindset coach. That is, of course, the one and only Melissa May Jordy. Melissa, it is so good to see you. And that smile lights up the screen. Happy Friday. And feel free to share your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And as a repeat offender, like David, you've already mentioned so many times, one, it's so good to see you. I've been able to pick up on the patterns and see the show evolve as I've been on it multiple seasons. And like you just mentioned, your ability you're one of the most efficient people I've ever met in my life. And that's where I've learned my time management skills, one of the biggest skills that I've picked up as being a mentee of yours over the years. And I'm so grateful for that. But on top of that, the way that you're able to be in a place of joy through all of it. And that's probably what I've picked up through the seasons as I've progressed and evolved as an entrepreneur through the seasons as well. I've picked up on finding my own voice. And that's what I've learned from so many entrepreneurs. And you talk about going the extra mile, which all of these entrepreneurs do and guests that come on this show do. But on top of that, they run their own mile. And they've stepped into who they're created to be. And from that, they are able to deliver a message, to deliver a product or a service from a place of joy, regardless of what's going on around them. There could be battles, there could be challenges, which is inevitable as an entrepreneur, right? But through that, they operate from a place of joy because they're operating from who they're created to be. Again, one of the biggest lessons I've picked up as being a mentee of yours over the years as well is being able to operate and step into who Melissa is. And who I'm created. I'm going to get teary-eyed thinking about it. Who I'm created to be. And I'm so grateful for that because of you. I found me.
Oh, talk about one of the greatest compliments you can give, to be able to find ourselves. And then it amplifies itself, by the way, Melissa, into confidence and comfortability. And one of the things is a pattern from coaching you and being your friend and you showing up to so many different things is I've seen the maturation of you being confident and comfortable with yourself, which is strange because the day that I met you and every day after that, I was always just so grateful to be in your presence as a hero and knowing your history and my value of freedom in my life of, growing up with very little economically in this country, providing me the ability to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want, including Office Hours Season 6 and 2-Minute Drill Season 6 and everything else I get to do. It's literally because of people like you, and a lot of people, heroes like you, need a platform, and they also need help to expand the skills, the knowledge, and desires that they had from protecting our country and be put into very, very, very difficult situations, which I'm too much of a wimp to put myself in the situations. Just one of them that you've been in, as I know the multiple times that you've created freedom for all of us. But it's my job then to take people like you and give them the confidence and comfortable feelings to find themselves so that they can do what they did in the field to protect us, to protect themselves, and then protect others at home. And that's what I see for you. That's why I love when you show up and to see you. I know we were with Erwin McManus, one of our other heroes that we love at SoFi, and to see you each time in the maturation, in the acceleration of your joy and your comfort and your confidence is a joy for me. And it's my mission, as you know, to empower 1,000 people, 1,000 heroes like Melissa May Jordy, and give people that fighter's mindset and inspire you to empower others as you're doing. So thank you so much for making me look good. And thank you so much for being so joyous and happy. It is my greatest achievement, people like you. So please come see us soon. Hopefully I'll see you at Dallas or at VCon or at the Infinite Growth Conference or in Houston or somewhere else. You're always invited, not obligated, just like the rest of our community. So any of the community out there that's saying, you're sending too many invitations to me, hey, it's an invitation, not an obligation. I have way more people tell me I didn't invite them than stop inviting me. So you're invited, not obligated.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. You're a blessing. Thank you so much for everything.
I love you, my dear. Thank you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. All right, Wammer, we're coming into the fourth quarter, and I'm sure we have a few more people that want to give their takeaways for office hours, and then hopefully we can take a few questions, let people know where we're going to be, when we're going to be, who we're going to be with, because we're in over 200 cities. You told me the other day there was coming on 6 VIP dinners in a month, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? We weren't even supposed to have one. We started, actually, it's an anniversary at VCon. We started VIP dinners at VCon with Jim Quick and a packed house, an overpacked house like we had last night. And I always like to thank Nick and Marissa and Colleen, especially. They follow up with all the invitations of people that want to come, and we're overloaded for Houston. So if you haven't heard from Nick, Colleen, or Marissa, that's because we have so many people that want to come to Houston next week at Aspire, and we're blessed to speak at every Aspire event and do the Ask Me Anythings, the meetups, and the VIP dinners. There's no better business tour. I think we're going to have Kevin O'Leary, Damon John, Lance Armstrong, Tim Story. Of course, me and Danny Fleischman. Danny just had a baby, and he's still going to come down to the Aspire tour. Eddie and Andrew. It's one of my favorite crews to travel with, and I get to see everybody once a month, and I'm blessed to be a part of that tour. And then we'll circle back to the next week in Dallas, and then we're going to try to stop by VCon. We do. Tim Story and I have the Infinite Growth Conference as well, but we're rocking and rolling. Wammer, what do you got next?
Yes, sir. Everybody in the audience, prepare, because the Eagle is landing. Our next guest is he's a best-selling author with the Reinvention Formula. He's a globally recognized keynote speaker, coach, podcast host, and of course, founder of the CLS Experience. That is the one and only Craig Siegel, the Eagle. Craig, it is great to see you. Thank you for your patience, my friend. Happy Friday. Feel free to share that takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Happy Friday. Good morning. How are you guys?
Craig Siegel. I was in Vegas for the launch of our new studio at Palazzo Venetian Resorts, and it was one of the bigger meetups that we had in the poker room, which is the biggest poker room on the Strip, by the way. Props to the Venetian Resorts, putting $1.5 billion back into Venetian Resorts, Las Vegas. That's with a B. So bye, Miles. Love you. All right. Anyways, Miles says hi, Craig.
Hey, Miles.
And it was so much fun for me because so many people that showed up were like, thank you, because Craig is changing my life. And I, of course, said, Craig who? And then they said, Craig Siegel. And I said, oh, Craig Siegel. Yes, the Eagle has landed, and he's soaring high above New York City as usual. And I'm blessed. Craig, how many Saturdays have we been together without missing?
175.
175. So when I started coaching Craig Siegel and helping him understand how to build a brand with his essence, which he has done extraordinarily well, I made him understand the empty miler versus the extra miler. I said, if you want to make this happen, if I'm going to take my time every Saturday to be with you, you can't miss. Consistency is my superpower, and you cannot miss. The day you miss is the day I quit. And I'll find somebody else that's committed to be there every single week, no matter if I'm in Dubai or Philippines or
Japan.
Alula, Japan. New Orleans on the levee was an early one that 7 in the morning or whatever in New Orleans. Because we do change. It's not all. It doesn't always have to be at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. But I take great joy in the fact that you are one consistent mofo and you lived up to your commitment and your word. And that meant a lot to me. And that's why, because people ask me, dude, how do you do it? Why do you do it? And it's because I understand the power of commitment to consistency. And it's one of your superpowers now. And you fully understand the commitment to consistency of getting better. Nothing creates progress more than the commitment to consistency. And it also provides more of an exponential outcome in our lives. You've been involved in office hours, 2-minute drill, tons of podcasts, meetups, VIP dinners. But what was your takeaway from season 6 of office hours?
The number one takeaway that I have is just being around that consciousness. You guys like Jim Quick, Jack Canfield, Chris Gardner, and just the way that you guys view the world. You know, the world is what it is, but people have a different perspective or a different frame, the way they see it, and the way that you guys think so big, how resilient you are. It just opens up something in me that helps me see things a little bit differently, where maybe I once saw limitations, now I begin to see opportunities. And I just love being around that frequency. And then also business development, the experiential stuff, the content, even the guys that I met, like Jeff Hoffman at the VIP dinner after, talk about a juggernaut, and just being able to collaborate with these guys, create relationships and do some business with them. Just being in the frequency, in the vibration of the rooms that you put together is typically my favorite takeaway. And that one was pretty special.
Yeah, it's interesting. I used to have, with all the invitations that I got, FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this week is something I had marketed the Hall of Fame for years with Warren Moon, who's on the board, my business partner of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. And this week is the Hall of Fame week. And I never miss, kind of like the Masters. It's one of those things. And my life had expanded beyond the Hall of Fame. And as I sat back this week filming season 6 of 2-minute drill, Go Fund Yourself, Palazzo grand opening of the studio there, and now celebrating office hours season 6, I thought to myself, I'm blessed to have my own Hall of Fame. It's the eclectic Hall of Fame of the best in their own careers, industries, and jobs that they have. And it's so nice to have people in our hall, that frequency in that neighborhood. And you're a great addition to the hall that we have. And it has changed my FOMO into JOMO. I now have the joy of missing out because if I prioritize my life correctly, then I'm where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be, in the divine direction, handling the divine detours with divine time. And you are a divine friend of mine. I know we're celebrating Tia's birthday in a couple weeks, but we're also going to be celebrating your nuptials, your wedding. And it is definitely an honor to fly across country to celebrate with you and your bride. I cannot wait to see you on that stage instead of the multiple stages that you're on, to celebrate you and what has been the best decision of my life. And I hope it is, and know it will be for you, with the mindset, heart set, and hand set that you have. Craig Siegel, thank you for always being there, especially always being there every Saturday for how many times?
176 as of tomorrow.
176 trombones and paradigm shifts. We are here. You can join us every Saturday, paradigm shift. Go to the CLS experience. Craig Siegel, I'll see you soon, brother.
Love you, Dave. I want to see those dance moves at the wedding.
I will do the splits for your wedding, I promise.
Thank you.
If you want to catch it on YouTube, it's a very popular video on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Watch Dancing Dave. I was a runner-up to make the Olympics in breakdancing, and you will see why. Thank you, Mr. Siegel.
Love you guys. Have a good rest of the day.
Love you. See you tomorrow. Awesome. All right, WOM. That's a well-oiled machine. That's what we are at Office Hours, 2-minute drill, and many other things that we do. The Nick of WOM leads the way. He's always, I was missing the Nick of WOM. I was telling Gigi, I go, I know this is your first time, but man, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know how to get to where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know when I'm supposed to be there. Can you help me, please? I'm used to Nick, and I didn't realize the subtleties of how well trained he is to get me where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be, with who I'm supposed to be. There was a hole in my heart and in my chart. That's the schedule. The student of the calendar was apparent without the Nick of WOM. Anyway, Nick, we got to lot of friends here still coming on, so let's keep on moving.
Absolutely. We got about 11 minutes left here in More Than Abundance. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling. And the next introduction that I have is one that's very heartfelt in the sense that not only is he a mentor to many all across the world at the highest of levels, but I know, David, it definitely resonates with you, even very close to your heart as your greatest mentor as well. He is the CEO of Avatar Resources, author, coach to many, and has impacted thousands all across the world at the highest of levels. That is, of course, the one and only Mr. Blaine Bartlett. Blaine, it is so good to see you. Happy Friday. Feel free to share that takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Thanks. Hey, buddy. Good to see you again.
That's my mentor, everyone. Everyone asks, that I mentor. Well, who mentors you? I'm like, that's the double B, Blaine Bartlett. And we both had an extraordinary mentor we shared that he introduced me to, which was Bob Proctor. And so we're a great lineage. In football, there's that Blaine, the Walsh lineage. There's the Bob Proctor lineage as well. And it goes Walsh and then Belichick and then down to, the next coach, Staley or whoever it would be, or Tannenbaum. And I feel like Tannenbaum underneath a great lineage of great coaches, mentors, and teachers. Anyway, you've been a big part of it. We give and honor people with the Unstoppable Award on each episode of Office Hours. And I know that's important to both of us, as Cynthia Kersey is the founder of that extraordinary. We keep, twice a week, it seems like, raising more and more money to help children in communities in Africa. And we had a great one last night as well. But what was your takeaway? You get to do so many amazing things in your life. What was your takeaway from Office Hours Season 6?
Well, what was interesting to me was I was on the other side of the table this season. Instead of being a co-host on your side of the table, I was in the chair. And what I loved about it was doing it live rather than virtually, which was, being in the studio. I love the energy in the studio. And so one of the part of the takeaway has to do with just being in the presence of a frequency. Yeah. Just being steeped in a frequency that is alive with possibility, pregnant with possibility, that sort of thing. And one of the things that I started kind of playing with this notion a little bit here. Everybody's heard about, the meme, be here now. It's about being present. Ram Dass talked about it, be here now, that sort of a thing. Well, yeah, when you think about where now is, you can't pin it down. Now is always moving along this arrow of time, past, present, future. And it's a slippery slope. So be here now. Where am I supposed to be? And when am I supposed to be there? Because whoops, there it went. So where I'm going with this is, and this is the takeaway that I had was I was present. I was being here now, when we were filming. And now is a state of being. It's not a state of doing. And so when you put yourself in a state of being, there's a frequency associated with the state of being that matches that frequency of which you are wanting to be a part. Yeah. So, landing into that frequency state actually attracts, anything and everything that is on that band of frequency. So now is a frequency state. It's a phase state. It's not a place. It's not a point in time. It's a state of being. That's my takeaway.
I love it. In the context of the state of being is divine time, divine direction, and divine detours even. And when we can stay present in the prioritization necessary to stay present with what's important to us in our own evolution, in our own direction, trajectory, allows us to be at ease. And you have taught me to get out of my own way, and shifting a paradigm for me is from hours and hours of talks with a couple tequilas as well. We've been able to improve, hopefully ourselves, to improve the world. And I have nothing but gratitude for you and your lovely bride as well. I know I was telling Craig about the importance of picking the right person and that great choice. I know you and I both share the same sentiment of the greatest choices that we have made, and the people that we spend the most time with, especially our wives. And so please send my love. I love you. And every time you show up, it's a blessing. and a reminder of I must be doing something right if Blaine Bartlett is in my life. Thank you for being in my life.
You bet, buddy. Thank you. I love you. And I'm looking forward to the launch of this season. This is going to be,
check it out tonight.
Be sure you tune in.
Streaming on Apple TV. Thanks for reminding me. I got to remember everything. Jeez. Anyway, Blaine Bartlett, BlaineBartlett.com, moving possibilities into reality. I promise you. Thanks again. Take care.
You bet, buddy.
He's awesome. All right, Nick, keep this party rocking and rolling. We got a couple more people to bring up.
Absolutely. And our next guest is the founder and CEO of Hawk Media, joining us nice and early from the West Coast. That is the one and only Eric Huberman. Eric, it's great to see you, my brother. Happy Friday. Feel free to share that takeaway from Office Hours Season 6.
Yeah, good to hear your voice and good to see you, David. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you for everything that you do for me and our community, elevating the awareness of our brands. Anyway, I'm curious from a media marketing expert like yourself, what your takeaway was.
Yeah, no, my takeaway was just looking at marketing. You know, we really try to simplify it. I think everybody likes to overcomplicate what they're doing. And when it comes to marketing, we talk about the 3 principles and the 3 things to focus on. It's awareness, nurturing, and trust. And that if you cover those 3 things, you've got a, cohesive marketing strategy. Awareness being, how do I introduce myself, my brand, and my product to new potential customers? How do I get out there? How do I get my name out there? And then once I do that, a lot of people make the mistake that they think that's it. Now people are just going to, work with me, buy my products, et cetera. And really nurturing is a huge part of this, where you're actually following up, staying in touch, getting them through that consideration period or purchase cycle where they're going, do I buy this thing? Do I, become a customer? And making sure to, keep that connection. And then the last piece, trust. Most people know this, but 75% of people aren't going to buy a product from someone they don't inherently trust. And when you don't have a brand, when you aren't well known, that comes from third-party validation. That comes from having connections, being on podcasts like this, on, being known and having other people that people trust lend you that trust. It can be PR, it can be influencer marketing, it can be celebrity endorsements, all sorts of things that can build that trust, reviews, testimonials, but really covering that gamut is where you're going to see success.
And building that brand on trust. You are the expert. Not to cut us short, but we want to include everyone. We'll have you on many more shows. But Eric, thank you for helping me build my brand and our community build its brand. Hawk Media, Eric Huberman. Thanks for your patience and unbelievable takeaway. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
All righty. We're going to keep it moving because Marshall Faulk from the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in the house. And he is a great business partner of mine. But you know what he really is? He's a dear friend. And he's someone I rely on to give me good advice and to be there when I need him. And I hope I do the same for him. We are honored during Hall of Fame week to have the incredible friend of mine, Marshall Faulk.
Dave, what's going on, man?
I like your hat. What's going on? I'm honoring you as well. So thank you so much. Right on, well, you are doing so many different things. I just wanted to get your takeaway. You're on so many TV shows, so many different things that you do for other people. You have a heart bigger than you should be in the Hall of Fame of hearts, not football.
Nice. We need to create that. We might have something with that.
I would love that. And thank you for doing Office Hours Success Show with me, you, and Hannah, telling people about financial literacy and how to be a fulfilled, passionate, purposeful, and profitable person. But what was your takeaway from season 6 of Office Hours?
Yeah, coming on, obviously for me, it was my first time coming to the studio in Vegas. So all the behind the scenes and Dave, listen, man, all the people there, they're so excited to just come on and share the reason why they're there, what they're doing, and the space that you guys have created with Office Space. I mean, with Office Hours, it's amazing that we can come on, talk about who we are, what we do, and how we do it. And literally, I hope people know it's not scripted. Yeah, like we sit down, it's raw. It is raw, and you don't tell us, hey, these are the questions. We sit down with the panel and we just have an intimate discussion, and the truths and the facts of the truths, they come out.
It is so nice. It's kind of my social life. I was telling Julie, I said, if it wasn't for all the different shows I do, I wouldn't be able to keep up with all the people I care about, and I wouldn't be learning more about what's going on today with them and tying in different stories. And I will tell you, as I let you go back to the hall, and send my love to especially George Veras, which not everybody may know who that is, but please give him a hug for me. But the most interesting thing, and what I love about friends, and we've known each other a long time, is you keep learning stories about the past and how it's relevant. And you're one of those people. Every time I'm with you, you tell a story about elementary school or high school or college or pro or playing for the Rams, the greatest show on turf, that I've never heard before. And it just makes me appreciate where you were and who you are today. And you are the first inductee in the Hall of Fame of Hearts. And I think you and I can move with that. Maybe Dan Fleischman will let us put a hall out there at the ranch, and we'll put big hearts. We won't do busts. We'll have hearts, and everyone will have their personalized heart. Yours will probably be the biggest one on display. So thank you so much. Enjoy the hall. You are a champion, and in my heart as well. Thank you, Marshall Faulk.
Appreciate you, buddy. Have
Love
a good
you,
one.
man. Thank you for showing up. That's what Marshall Faulk's about. All right, Nick, we're going to squeeze in the last two. What do you say? Can we do it?
Absolutely. So my suggestion, Dave, is I'm going to go ahead.
Bring them both.
I'm going to close out the room here on Clubhouse, so
Yeah.
we can keep that while I'm going.
Yeah.
But with that said, we'll keep it live here all across social media and, of course, with the webinar. So
I'll bring
for
'em up.
Our next guest, I will introduce Mr. David Williams, who is, of course, a serial entrepreneur, speaker, investor, and co-founder of multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses. Mr. Williams, it is great to see you. Feel free to share that takeaway.
Hey. No, it's glad to be here, guys. I think my takeaway really is the value of being in rooms of similar frequency people, because I think that can be, as we're climbing to the top, as we're trying to accomplish great things in life, it can get lonely and you start to lose that similar frequency. But the one thing I notice about, David Meltzer, my good friend here, and then with his show, is it's all similar frequency. And what happens when you're around similar frequency, think about it like this. Imagine, we got a big house here and we got to put our internet in, and we have to put in one router, but it's not enough sometimes to reach the whole house. And we have to put additional satellites to amplify that frequency. So when I'm in rooms like that and there's other people operating on similar frequencies, I think what it does is it amplifies all of our frequencies and really supercharges the direction that we're trying to go.
And what's amazing, Dave and I, it's amazing how much we share with Tim's story, especially with Fifth Degree Academy and the future of education and the future of America. And we share such similar views, and yet we have different ways of articulating the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
And what I love about you, Dave, is you care so much about America like I do, and our future. And, it's interesting because we are in that frequency, people of appreciation, not appreciation just for our families, our health, and our country, but appreciation for the differences that everybody has. And one of the things that you and I have been working with as partners is how do we get people to unite, not by agreeing with one another, but by appreciating the differences of one another. And you do such a great job with a great passion and purpose. And Tim's story and many others are aligned with us that we're working with in order to facilitate a greater future for our country. And so as someone who is an admirer and appreciator of you and all that you do, if the people knew the dedication and time that you spent on the benefit and on behalf of other people, they would know the incredible leader you are. And more people need David Williams in their lives because he is an appreciator. That means he's someone who adds value to every place that he goes. And I see office hours as a silo of appreciation of people of a like frequency, a neighborhood of people that want to help each other and know people. And it's a very different crowd. I mean, every religious belief, every philosophy, theory, spirituality, all the different political views that are in there, but everybody loves one another, and we're all there to help one another. So keep up the great work. Everyone go to bookdavidwilliams.com. We're going to be doing a mastermind in Florida. When is that one going to be?
Yeah, so we'd love to have everybody come out to that. It's going to be September 13th, and there's two different ways you can attend. You can attend the entire thing, where we're going to start out in the morning with basically a half day of health and wellness. We're going to have some incredible speakers there, some great content. And then that night, we're going to have a black tie gala where we're going to be raising funds for the philanthropy arm of our kids project, basically funding me going around volunteering my time, bringing in influencers, best-selling authors, celebrities into the schools to impact the hearts and minds of our kids. Because I really do believe that, you know, I grew up with a great love for this country, and it's our youth are our future in this country. And we got to save our kids. You know, I think, you know, not knocking schools, but they're not getting some of the fundamentals that allow kids to go out in life to thrive rather than just survive. It's like 78% of Americans that are 25 and under are paycheck to paycheck with subprime credit scores. To me, that's not the American dream. And we're trying to teach kids, hey, what that American dream looks like, what true, authentic freedom looks like, and how to live a life of personal excellence that allows them to just go out and thrive.
Amen, my brother. David Williams, thank you for joining us for the celebration and launch today, streaming on Apple TV, season 6 of Office Hours. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you soon, my brother. Appreciate you.
Keep it up, bro. Thank you. All right. Last but not least, Nick of Wam. It is one of my best friends in the world. Bring him on.
Absolutely. And for our cleanup hitter today, we have the one and only Rick Jordan, who's an international
I bet he's wearing a black shirt.
Speaker. Say again?
I bet he's wearing a black shirt.
Oh, I can guarantee you that the day he's going to shake up the world is going to be when he shows up in all yellow. But he is a AI and cybersecurity expert, investor, entrepreneur, and CEO of Reach Out Technology. And that is the one and only Rick Jordan. Rick, what is shaking, my man? Happy Friday. Feel free to share that takeaway from Office Hours season.
What's shaking?
What's shaking, my brother?
My man, I was listening to a lot of these other amazing guests, you know, and a lot of cool takeaways from this season. I'm excited. You know, I love sitting at the opposite end of you on the booth that's there, and
my
just,
anchor man, and the biggest donor to Unstoppable, the Unstoppable Award, charitable funder. This man is also in the Hall of Fame of Hearts. Him and Marshall Falk deserve this jacket right here with a big heart on it. So anyway, we're closing out. What was your takeaway, my love?
Resilience, my man. That's interviewing all the guests. I mean, so many adversities that they've all come up against, and it just getting almost like pounded into the ground. But it's like they were buried, but they still had, I envision, like the hand still sticking out of the ground so they can still crawl back out of it. And that I think is what separates a lot of the winners from the losers, is the resilience, which is, to me, quite simply, not quitting. That's how you win. That's the separation.
I love it. And for me, it's, you know, me lying in bed that day, my basement, when it had a basement, telling myself as I watch Rocky, if I can look up, I can get up. And I see that common denominator. Another analogy that I use is, and a qualifier to bring people, especially my anchor men, on, is this a person that lives in why me or try me? Is this a person that is looking up? And I think a common denominator of that frequency, that neighborhood of Office Hours, the billionaires, the millionaires, the entrepreneurs, the celebrities, athletes, and entertainers, from Cameron Diaz to Brett Favre to Marshall Falk to John Hennessy to Tillman Fertitta. The list goes on, as you know, because you've been there, Dickerson, and many others. Every single person involved in Office Hours, from my team to my staff, production crew, to all the supporting staffs, and all the guests and hosts and spotlights and Unstoppable Award winners, they're all looking up. And I promise you, my friend, as we finish off this tribute to season 6 of Office Hours, streaming on Apple TV and many other places, promise me that you'll continue to look up, because if you can look up, you can get up. And Rick Jordan has been looking up and helping others look up for years. Mr. Rick Jordan, thank you for joining me in closing out this amazing reunion and launch of Office Hours season 6.
Love you, brother.
I'll see you soon. Keep wearing black. All right, everyone, real quick, because I got to go to Napa for a Silver Oak release. It's been a long month this week, a long year this month, a long decade this year, but we're doing it to provide the light, the love, and the lessons over 200 cities. And we will be in Houston next week. So reach out to Nick at dmeltzer.com, or me, David at dmeltzer.com. The next week we'll be in Dallas. We will be at the Infinite Growth Conference right around the block from VCon. We might stop by and do a meetup there as well. But Tim Story and I are doing the Infinite Growth Conference as well. So you can do both. You can do both. Come and join us. There's so much more going on, but I'm going to cut it short today and just make it easy for you. If you want to be annoyed and you want to be alerted of all the stuff we have going on to be in our community, text me 949-298-2905. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I congratulate everyone, especially my team, for an amazing season 6. For the next 12 weeks on streaming on Apple TV, check out Office Hours season 6. Remember, no matter what, to be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you next week. I love you. Peace.